Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to do your Chinese horoscopes for 2021, the year of the ox. So we're going to do the year of the ox. So according to the Chinese Zodiac, 2021 is the year of the ox. And let's hope it's going to be a little bit better than 2020, because that was a pretty poor year for most people on just about every front. But this year is supposed to be a lot more lucky, actually. It's supposed to be a good time to focus on longer term things, but on relationships in particular. And I know a lot of you have been in lockdown, and that must be a terrible period for anybody that's single. But this is going to be a year when relationships can flourish quite well for most signs, actually, for all signs. It's better generally overall for everyone. And so it's a time also when you can make new friends. So I'm sure that as we gradually come out of this pandemic, people are going to want to socialise more. So the kind of the year of the ox is a pretty good one for socialising with friends. So it's generally a pretty positive sign, and it's a positive energy as we come out of this horrible coronavirus period of 2020. Now, the ox as a symbol in Chinese astrology is a very hard-working animal and very methodical. Right, so it's anything you have to do in life at the moment that requires hard work is the time to do it. This is the time when hard work brings rewards. It's not a time when sudden things come into your life and you suddenly make money and speculative things. This is where you have to be persevering, right? And any good luck you've had already, they say, will also be increased upon. So it's a time for consolidating your good luck. As the Chinese believe a great deal in luck, but this is a lucky time really for most people. The ox is a in Taoism they have this idea of yin and yang, which you've heard about. Well, the ox is dominated by the yin energy, so it's the passive female the passive female energy of the ox for this year. So it's going to be a time when the ox is a strong animal, and it's also a time when people can carry the weight of responsibilities. And it's a time also when we can redouble our efforts to achieve the things we want in life. And so this, for the world at large, is a time when we can make slow and steady progress, and also slow and steady release from the burdens of the past, actually, which, you know, of course has been paramount in 2020 with all the problems of coronavirus. So it's promising for a steady energy that will slowly bring us out of the crisis of 2020. So it's not going to be sudden releases and everything's going to be all right overnight. It's not. I think we've already understood that. As the vaccines roll out, the year will gradually get less and less stressed, even with all these additional variants coming in. You know, I made some predictions about that in my prediction period, didn't I? I told you all about that there'll be other viruses coming, which seems to be the case now. Nonetheless, I still think we'll get through it. So this is also the element for this animal, the ox, is metal. So this is a metal year. We had a metal year last year. So they say that the lucky colour for metal is the colour white. So that's supposed to be the positive colour. So it's a favourable year for economic recovery then, worldwide. And a period, again, like I said, perseverance and consolidation. These are kind of the key words for this sort of thing. And it's so, therefore, if you're making investments and things like that, this is the time for making long-term investments rather than short-term ones. I expect the stock market to go wild when we know the pandemic is completely over, but at the moment, and probably for this year still, you know, there's still uncertainty in the air, so it's probably best to put your money into long-term investments according to Chinese astrology. This is also a good time for anything connected. Like I said, it's connected, good for love and friends and things, but also a good time for family. And obviously, a lot of us have had to sort of withdraw to the confines of our family, and we're all stuck in at home, and our family are probably, for many of you, the closest people around you all the time. So this is still a year of good period for consolidation within the family, a time when there is order in the family. And order in the family, of course, brings there will be order in society. We have to start with the family always. This is actually a very interesting Chinese concept. If you look at it in, for example, the I Ching, it talks in the hexagram of the family. It always talks about that we make the family secure first. Then we go out and we make the society around us immediately with our friends and the relations. We make that balance, and then we extend out to the whole world. So it's a positive thing. It's coming back to the centre of things. It's a stable period. Now, I'm now going to move on to the individual signs. But if you're new to this channel, do follow us, because we have all sorts of things going on this channel. And we have every Friday, my wife Jane and myself give a talk about all sorts of paranormal things. And you can, in the live sessions, ask us questions and join in psychic experiments and all sorts of fun stuff that we have going on Fridays. And of course, you'll also get all sorts of predictions and things on this channel as well. So don't forget, click that little bell thing to subscribe, and click the bell motive when you do press the subscribe button, and you'll get updates about what's coming up. And there's loads coming up this year. 2021 Chinese horoscope for the dragon. It's a kind of okay year for the dragon, but not a brilliant year for you. The problem is you don't normally get on particularly well with the ox as a zodiac sign, because their energy is much slower. The dragon is a kind of the genius, the brilliance, the great creative person, the full of energy sort of person. And you're going to find this year a little bit more frustrating, because you can't let that expression come out during this year. It's a slow time of gradual progress. And in this time of gradual progress, you find it quite hard. I mean, we're all going to have a bit of that, because you're coming out of a very difficult period in the Earth's history, with jobs under threat and money problems everywhere, I'm sure, with all the coming out of coronavirus, and lots of public unrest in the world out there as well. So it's not a great time when we can express the energies we want. We kind of feel a bit sort of held back, and that is particularly for the dragon, who finds it very, very hard to adapt to this slow, gradual progress, shoulders the wheel, hard work sort of attitude. You want to find quick ways to do things, but this is the energy of the year of the ox, and you have to adapt to it. You have to find ways to adapt, and if you can find ways to adapt to the energy, you'll do fine. You know, but don't expect sudden. It's not sudden gains. It's the slow. It's the tortoise that wins the race this year rather than the hare. You know, it's a slower process. So you've got to use your mind to find ways of adapting to that. So it can be a bit of a boring time for you, because you're a very, very innovative sort of person. But you are instead going to be taking on much more heavier responsibilities. And instead of just doing your own thing all the time, you're going to have to sort of work with others and work in teams and things like that, which is not always in your nature. But if you can adapt to that, you should do well in this period. It's a matter of using the energy to your advantage. Don't spend too much. This is a time when people should be saving money, not spending money. So don't lash out, but try to sort of accumulate financial money. Good period for anything longer term, as I've said before on the main opening to this video, about a good time for long-term projects and new projects, as long as they've got a structure and a goal towards their going, and it's a good time for almost anything with new business and maybe new lifestyles even for you. But you're a very charismatic sort of personality as a dragon. And you may end up actually mixing your business and your romances together. There's a signs, suggestions during this period of the year of the ox that you might meet someone at work. Possibly there's this connection between work and romance. So you might meet someone at work, or you might even set up a business with somebody who you're romantically attached to, and this would be quite a good time for doing anything like that if that's something you've hoped to do. So use a lot of compromise during this period. You can't get your own way all the time during the period of the energy of the ox. So the dragon has to compromise in all matters, and also find compromise in the areas of love in particular too. So you're being tamed a little bit this year. Very, very good period for health for the dragon during the year of the ox. The energy is just right for your love. And love will go fine too, really, but those that are married and single should have a pretty happy year, as long as you pay attention to the energies that you are working with. Slower pace, more long-term thinking, less sudden innovations. You've got to accept that sometimes it can get frustrating for you, but if you adapt, as I say, you should be able to find your way through and could turn 2021 into a very successful year. It's up to you. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that today. If you are interested, of course, in finding out about your future and particularly your astrology, I've got a load of astrologers working on my website at psychics.co.uk who will give you some forecasts for your way ahead and what the 2021 holds in store for you. And if you really want to sort of learn more about these type of subjects, do have a look at some of my books. Messages from the Universe particularly is a great book. I say it is my book, but it's a great insight, I think, into the forces of fate and where we're going in the world and the incredible things I discovered in India about astrology, as well as also my other books like the Psychic School, for example, which will teach you all about how to develop your own psychic gifts and so on. So have a look at some of that. Have a look at the website, particularly, and if you haven't already, and have a look at some of the articles there. And follow this channel, because if you follow this channel and you're new to this channel, you'll find that we're offering all sorts of interesting stuff all the time. And like I said at the top of the show, we have a Friday night show that comes on every Friday night live, and we have all sorts of interesting things going on there. A different topic every week. We approach things in different ways all the time, and you'll be able to meet myself and my wife, who's also psychic there, and you'll be able to ask us questions and enjoy psychic experiments and all sorts of interesting stuff that we do all the time. So follow the channel. It's very easy. Just click that little button at the bottom of the screen there, and then click the little bell thingy there, and it will mean that you get updates every time we release a new video. Anyway, thanks for joining us. See you all soon. Bye for now.
Would you like a personal psychic reading? Visit psychics.co.uk for quality international readings with Craig and his team of clairvoyants. Improve your life and find the path to a better future. You can book readings by phone or email. For a quality reading, visit psychics.co.uk now. They are the real deal.